Good evening and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has loaded the National Organizing Committee for the recently concluded non-aligned movement in the G77 plus China Summit. This was at a luncheon at State House Entebbe, where the president, who is the current chairman of the two blocs, highlighted some of the key areas of his focus during his tenure.
President Yoweri Museveni and the First Lady Janet Museveni yesterday hosted a luncheon for the National Organizing Committee for successfully organizing the 19th non-aligned movement and the G77 plus China summits that were held in mid-January.
I thank everybody who contributed. You have shown that Ugandans don't have to be corrupt. They don't have to be lazy. And I thank Nachove and her team, and Nakadama, the supervisor, and Nabanja also, Nabanja Prime Minister was also involved. And everybody who was involved.
Museveni hailed the organizers and various stakeholders from the public and private sector for the historic achievement and noted that their dedication and hard work were the backbone of the triumph. Museveni highlighted the four key areas he will be focusing on in his term of office as chairman of NAM and the G77 plus China.
I can see 4 points. Number one, working for peace in the world. That should be number one. We should work with all partners. This huge group of 6.6 billion people to push for peace and try to isolate those who promote war. That potential of south-to-south investments to produce goods and services using the raw materials of this huge group of countries. That's number two. But number three, you remember what I said in the conference center? Once you have produced the goods and the services, who buys them? Who buys them? The market, trading arrangements. That's number three now. Peace, south-south investments, and trade. But then number four, in order to produce goods and services cost effectively, you need investment in infrastructure.
The outstanding National Organizing Committee of the back-to-back summits was steered by Lucy Nachove, the head of public service and secretary to the cabinet, and Ambassador Adonia Yebare, the permanent secretary to the United Nations.
Let us use this occasion to celebrate our accomplishments, learn from our experiences, and strengthen our resolve for future.
First and foremost, our success stemmed from the spirit of collaboration and teamwork. This permeated in every aspect of our planning process, and despite the challenges we faced, we remained united in our commitment to delivering a world-class event.
The non-aligned movement and the G77 plus China summits attracted thousands of delegates from all over the world. The events positioned Uganda as one of the top countries in the continent for meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
And Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabbanja, has held bilateral talks with Italian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Right Honorable Antonio Tajani, on strategies to bolster strong partnerships between the two countries. The meeting took place at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Rome and was attended by, among others, the head of Uganda's mission in Italy, Ambassador Elizabeth Paula Napeyok, the Executive Director, Uganda Investment Authority, Dr. Robert Mukiza, as well.
During the meeting, Nabanja briefed Tajani that President Yoweri Museveni is more interested in investment and value addition on our coffee and cocoa by building factories to process coffee so as to create jobs for the young people.
And so still, we shall not have market, we shall not trade. Like I said the other time, if you were in our summit, I said Africa now needs trade, technological transfer, and investment. 3 things. We appreciate the investment in terms of healthcare, but we also feel our people can help themselves if we added value to the already existing products like coffee.
Tajani told the Ugandan delegation that building a stronger partnership with Africa is a priority for the government of Italy in order to create opportunities for growth and development. Among other interventions where Tajani promised to cooperate with Uganda include transformation of our coffee and sign win-win agreements in that sector. Italian companies entering into joint ventures with Ugandan companies in the agro-industry and energy. Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister met the Director for International Cooperation and Development, and a number of interventions were agreed upon.
Sector on the back of the creation, de facto, of a green hydrogen industry for Uganda. This will be a first in that part of the world. I can tell you there are many projects across the continent that are targeting green hydrogen quite often, if not the majority or not all, for export. This is a project that benefits Africa. Of a road linking Lusalira, Kazambia, Konge, and Zimbabwe. This is a 130 million project, and we are looking at providing up to 30 million support for the project. So
Nabanja lauded the Italian government for the support given to Uganda in various interventions, especially in health, education and infrastructure.
To help us to support the hospital in Gulu, Racho Hospital. So we appreciate that contribution, and for that the President is saying thank you so much. And 2, as a former Minister of Health, remember I was a Minister of Health some time back, I'm particularly passionate about pursuing initiatives that can improve the health delivery in my country from all levels. The government of Uganda seeks to enhance more cooperation and build capacity in the health and energy sectors.
The Ugandan delegation also met President Leonardo, Ambassador Stefano Pentecovo at his head office in Rome, Italy, and discussed ways of partnering with Uganda. Leonardo is an international industrial group that builds technological capabilities in the aerospace, defense, and security sectors.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has commenced the selection exercise for Senior 1. Some of the traditional schools have reduced their cut-off points, whereas for many others, they have maintained theirs. This is being attributed to the performance of PLE candidates for 2023 being comparably the same as that of 2022. Officiating at the opening of the exercise at Oma Main Hall on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Sports, Keti Lamaro, the Commissioner, Basic and Secondary Education, Ismail Lindwa, urged head teachers to conduct the exercise objectively and fairly to command integrity and deal with the negative perception of the public about the selection process.
Head teachers, deputy head teachers and career masters in various public secondary schools across the country have gathered at the Uganda Manufacturers Association main hall to participate in the Senior 1 selection and placement exercise. Through this exercise, head teachers are given 3 lists, one for the students selected for their schools according to the choices and performance, the selling list and the list for the non-selected students. Nabisunsa Gao's school was given 200 students out of the 1,293 who had given it first choice, and their cut-off points is at 7, a drop from the 6 aggregates they took last year, while Masaka Secondary School cut-off points for boys is up to 9 and girls 12, and the school was given 800 students.
It means that those who gave us first choice, they didn't perform very well compared to the performance of last year, where our aggregate, the intake was 6. Have not been successful to enter Nabisunsa. We are sold to other schools, and we are going to write lists, and those members of other schools are going to sign against them, such that they own them, so that they are not left floating.
So there is a drastic change. I think this year, the students were able to get quite a number of first grades, and with the element of quality assurance, I think that's why the ministry has been able to reduce a bit by 1 aggregate for the girls to have the 12.
The cut-off points for Immaculate Heart Nyachibare in Rukunjiri district remained at 6, although this year they have taken all students who got aggregate 6. Kira College Butiki also has a constant cut-off point at 9 aggregates, and Sacred Heart Secondary School in Gulu's cut-off point is also at 13 as it was last year.
Taking all those ones of 6 aggregates, but last year we never took all of them. Some were sold because the passing of that, the quality passing of the other year was better than all this. It's better actually, it's better.
That 9 aggregates is high. That simply means that the school is doing well, is performing well.
300 and aggregate 13, that is where we are supposed to stop. And the level of performance last year was almost the same also like this year. Maybe if they had given us more than that, it means the performance was far better than the one of last year.
According to the placement committee, 648,662 students are supposed to be placed during this exercise in government schools, government-aided and government-aided non-USE schools. The chairperson placement committee, Dr. Jene Gau, urged head teachers to accommodate students who are on the list of non-selected but meet the grades within their schools.
These schools here declare a very small capacity. Somebody tells you I need 100 students. When the returns come back, it is 500 students, it's 400 students. I think it is not fair at all. It distorts our planning because these figures help us even to plan for capitation grants and all other things for those institutions.
The Commissioner, Basic and Secondary Education, Ismail Mulindwa, who represented the Permanent Secretary, Katie Lamaro, urged head teachers to conduct the exercise objectively and fairly, basing on the performance of the students.
It is only by carrying out this exercise with integrity that we shall dispel the public's concerns about fairness and merit in our education system. As you know, many out there are complaining. They even don't see the relevance of this exercise because they think we are not fair the way we carry it out.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Education and Sports has warned head teachers who are not using the new secondary school curriculum to teach students that they are doing a disservice because examinations in October and November are to be set basing on this curriculum. I'm Navka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
President Yoweri Museveni, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has praised security personnel for their gallant efforts during the recently concluded non-aligned movement and G77 plus China summits held in Kampala. At a Thanksgiving ceremony held at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds and attended by representatives from various security agencies, President Museveni commended their pivotal role in ensuring the smooth and successful hosting of the summit.
By 1900, you must put all these things in a context. You must understand them well. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized, except for Ethiopia. And for Africa, we had gone through 400 years of slave trade. It was not only Africa which was colonized, even much of Asia was either in colonies or semi-colony like China. China was not fully colonized, but it was like a semi-colony. So therefore, the big group you saw here, this is potentially a very powerful group. As you heard, the countries were 120. If you add group of 77 plus China, the population of these countries is 6.6 billion people. Obumbi mukaga n'obukadde lukaaga. %80 of the human population are here. So therefore, you should understand the importance of these meetings. These countries are the liberated slaves, the countries which had been enslaved but have now been liberated. And they are the majority of the human race. And they were all here. So therefore, it's a big honor for them to come here, first of all. For us, it's a big honor, but also a big opportunity. We have nothing against the other countries who are not part of this. Actually, we want to work with them, but they should respect our views. They should not come and
Meanwhile, the UPDF will mark 43 years since its formation as the people's force in the country this month. Known for its lethal approach to protecting the nation against external invasions, we now present a highlight of the UPDF's operation strength and contributions towards national development. Ivan Kawa has more.
Tarehe also known as the 6th of February, marks the day in 1981 when the National Resistance Army led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni launched an armed rebellion against the government of Milton Obote. On this day, the late Eli Tumwine fired the first bullet, sparking the beginning of an armed struggle that led to the capture of power in 1986.
This operation of Kabamba, it was our effort, but with God's direct intervention.
General Eli Tumwine served as the commander of the National Resistance Army from 1984 to 1987.
Tumwine was a resilient man. So that spirit of patriotism, of sacrifice, you the young people, you should learn from it.
3 years after the NRA's victory, the position of Chief of Defense Forces was established as the NRA reconstituted into the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Major General Mugisha Muntu was the first UPDF Chief of Defense Force, serving for 9 years, followed by General Jeje Odong, currently serving as Minister for Foreign Affairs. Major General James Kazini, General Aronda Nyakairima, General Edward Katumba Wamala, current Minister for Works and Transport, General David Muhozi, the State Minister for Internal Affairs, and currently commanded by General Wilson Mbasumba.
We will also continue to commit to standing with our motherland through thick and thin.
UPDF is a non-partisan force, national in character, patriotic, professional, disciplined, productive, and subordinate to the civilian authority.
Since 1986, the UPDF has grown to an estimated size of 45,000 active personnel, with an additional 35,000 reserves. Today, the UPDF recruits educated personnel with specialized units enhancing its capabilities.
It's now a professional army. The army now has advanced in terms of technology. It has also advanced in terms of human resource capacity building, and it has also advanced in terms of being multi-skilled.
The Uganda Land Forces handle ground-based military operations, while the Uganda Air Forces defend airspace, provide air support to land forces wherever they are, and engage in operations other than war. Reserve forces reinforce and, if necessary, reconstitute the defense forces. The Special Forces Command conducts specialized missions, and the military police enforces law and order and reinforces the police.
UPDF has also supported democracy to deepen the extent that anybody can dream leading this country, like some people you know.
To strengthen educational aspects, national military training and educational institutions are in place, including the National Defense College, Senior Command and Staff College, Junior Command and Staff College, Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, Armored Warfare Training School, Uganda Military Engineering College, and Uganda Military Academy.
All these are in line with the Excellency's vision of us having a defense university in order to reduce on the education needs in our security agencies and enhance strategic thinking in other MDAs in the country. Therefore, it is no doubt that we are increasingly getting angered in our forces' vision to transform into a modern, professional, efficient, effective, and accountable force, anchored on a strong civil-military partnership and capable of undertaking its core missions.
The UPDF has maintained internal security and supported regional peacekeeping efforts in African countries, including Somalia, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Besides focusing on combat, the army engages in responsibilities for socio-economic transformation.
There are some things we cannot fire with bullets, like the locusts, like environmental degradation, like food security. We can't fire at hunger, and that's why we are now engaged in tree planting so that we can avert environmental insecurity. We are now engaged in growing food.
The UPDF has a commercial arm aimed at producing goods and services beneficial to the defense forces and the general public. These commercial ventures are undertaken through its subsidiaries and joint ventures. The force also caters to the needs of its veterans to ensure that even after retirement they can integrate into society and contribute to the welfare and development of the country.
We have education and training. We want to see how we can educate their children and train those ones with the skills so that they become more productive. We are looking at health and mental wellness because that is a big challenge for these veterans. So we have put that framework.
This year's Tarehe Sita will be marked under the theme, celebrating the people's struggle for unity, security and peace. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
And the ongoing Tarehe Sita anniversary activities in the Busoga sub-region have fostered meaningful dialogue between the Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, and the civilian community in Bujidi. As part of these initiatives, the UPDF engineering team has undertaken significant projects, including the construction of a modern classroom block at Waka Waka Primary School and an aqua privy latrine at Nasaga Muslim Primary School.
Lieutenant Colonel Robert Semaganda. I'm the team leader coordinating terrorist activities in Bujiri district. There are very many projects, but construction projects basically are two. There is a 2-classroom block at Waka Waka Primary School where we are now, and another one is an aqua private toilet at Nasanga Primary School. That was a LEC team before we started the terrorist activities. They came and teamed up with district officials. So the decision was made by the district that the engineers, that UPDF engineers come here because this school was in a sorry state. I understand it had been put down by a storm. That's why they decided that we give them the 2-classroom block that is being constructed here. Though the engineer has not told me, but the way I've seen it, it is complete, it is 100%, because if you see people mopping, then it means it is 100%. It is at 100%. We shall hand over the projects in the whole of Busoga region on 5th February 2024.
I'm Lieutenant David Muhumahuma from Engineering Brigade. We are here at Waka Waka Primary School. I'm the site engineer. At Waka Waka here, we have been constructing the 2-classroom block, as we are seeing. Actually, we started from the foundation. Up to now, we are at the finishing stage, whereby we are even done with painting. So we are now cleaning. We are trying to clean as we wait the day for the handover. We started on 17th, and the last day of completion was again 17th January. 17th December, 17th January, we were done. Actually, the community are very happy, and they always say they wish if the government could give all contract to the UPDF, because whenever they come at my site, they are excited to see how they are doing such tasks. They were not expecting we soldiers to be having such idea. So the way we made it at a quite level, the way we select the material, even the material we bought it from them. So we were trying to select the quality of the material we were using, and we were buying those material from the community. The ratio and the material we were using, it was at a high grade, not of the way the local are using. So I expect, and I believe the structures at a good level.
My name is Higenyi Laban. I'm a deputizing here. I'm a deputy head teacher. We are very happy that at first we are really missing enough classroom blocks, because I remember at a time when the rain came, it destroyed one of our 2 classroom blocks. So we need to thank greatly the UPDF to have thought of that, because some of us in Bugiri, we have been knowing that we were forgotten by the government. They were asking as a community, where are we benefit from as a community? But this time around, for past years, it's now have been considered that we are also being looked at as Bugiri, and particularly as Waka Primary School. So UPDF, you are giving us a very good picture, which we never expected to have been having less, like around 700, but they assume they are going to bring children to see that they use this structure. Because, you know, with the children, admire good structures. And as if I'm not mistaken, could be the strongest and the desired structure in Bugiri, if I'm not mistaken. So children are very happy to see, to come and learn from the new structure.
Amaina gange nenze mutasifarida kuve waka waka aye nsimye okutuwa isomero abana baife bana bange ensomeze nabo abasoma kyokka bambe mwatuwaire bana abatukumi bere bazira buzibu bawaka sada bawayi bulungi bazira buzibu bona amasano nga kulwange mufune ino okutwongera isomero erindi singa mweka mutwongerayo ku kabiri abana betulina banji ife abazaire w'ekidi ntituzaala nkyo naki naigulo kale nze ngokulwange nze amasano mangi era nsimye ino isomero yagana abandi nga balikola mpola aye bano bebaida bakola mangu speed isomero lyaife lyatera lyawo tebalwawo bambi.
With that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details. You are watching News Tonight.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Have you packed more with Harbour jelly and Harbour foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More with pack. It is a new improved Morbid Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a Morbid Harbour jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent.
Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence.
Wetlands play a significant role in promoting human well-being through aiding food security, climate regulation, livelihoods, promoting culture, conserving biodiversity and filtering fresh water. Uganda is part of the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, signed on 2nd February 1971. To commemorate this day, the Ministry of Water and Environment, in conjunction with Gulu City, have organized the national celebrations of World Wetlands Day 2024 on 2nd February under the theme Wetlands and Human Well-Being in Gulu City Kaunda grounds, starting from 8:30 a.m. His Excellency the President is expected to grace the event as the guest of honor. The general public is invited. Wetlands for life.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. The American Tower Corporation Uganda has made a significant contribution to education by donating 20 computers to Ihandiro Vocational Secondary School, a government-aided institution located in the rural areas of Bukonzo County West in Kasese District.
Ihandiro Vocational Secondary School, known for its rural setting, has now received a donation of 20 computers valued at 120 million Uganda shillings, aimed at facilitating learning. This generous donation is expected to particularly benefit the surrounding communities by providing improved access to the internet. During the installation of the computers, former Defense Minister Dr. Crispus Chionga expressed gratitude to the American Tower Corporation for extending essential services closer to the community. He commended the corporation for contributing to the enhancement of the learning environment for students.
This facility is going to upgrade the training of the young persons, young boys and girls who are studying here in respect to computer knowledge. But at the same time, the facility, by agreement, by arrangement, is also going to benefit members of the community.
Dr. Chionga viewed the installation of computers as a significant achievement for rural residents and took the opportunity to thank President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for fostering an environment conducive to private sector involvement in community development.
The transformational development in line with the NRM philosophy of transforming this country and the leadership of His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. So I'm happy. I think the project has been implemented very well. I thank the American Tower Corporation for their generosity. I thank the government of NRM headed by President Museveni for the environment created.
He urged parents and teachers alike to emphasize the importance of consistent attendance in school, aiming to reduce school dropouts.
You find a school sitting about 80 children in primary leaving examination, 60 plus have passed in the first grade. We want this to happen in the rural areas as well. So we need to work closely with the teaching community, with the parents. Children should stay in school, and also we should improve their standards there.
Nzibedi Bwambale, the head teacher of Ihandiro Vocational Secondary School, highlighted that the newly established computer lab would enhance students' performance as internet services had been a major challenge faced by the learners.
And we are very grateful because we now have internet. We are actually connected to the world. And I hope when the students come here, they will appreciate.
The local community, as beneficiaries of this initiative, expressed their appreciation to the government for fostering an environment conducive to non-governmental organizations' involvement in community development.
To make sure that this intervention has been made to this school. But also, I also thank government for real strengthening the private sector, because we are already a beneficiary.
And the Director, NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, has emphasized the party's commitment to retaining its position in central Uganda. Rosemary Seninde made the remarks at Zone 7 Wakalika Rubaga Division and Kampala while meeting NRM members.
The event saw passionate discussions on various government programs and the need for a shift in mindset among citizens. Director NRM Mobilization Rosemary Seninde underscored the importance of embracing government initiatives such as the Parish Development Model, EMIOGA and others aimed at empowering communities.
His Excellency the President with others fought for this country, and they did not only fight a war, but they also fought to ensure that people get out of poverty. So because of that, I'm encouraging the people of Uganda, particularly the NRM supporters and those who don't support NRM, must not forget that for the last 38 years, Uganda has been in peace. And we have got so many things that have been brought in place to support our people and help them out of poverty.
She expressed concern over the prevalent "I don't care" attitude and urged members to actively engage in these programs for their benefit and that of the nation.
We are putting emphasis on what are the actual needs of the people, because the government has done quite a lot. Flagship programs like the PDM, like the MIOGA, all those programs that have been done in this particular term, we need to appreciate and to understand whether our people have actually got these things. So we need to find out what are the needs of the people, what are the challenges, what are those things that have not reached our people.
Seninde addressed issues regarding the youth involvement in political processes and emphasized the significance of respecting leaders. She announced the introduction of barazas as platforms for community engagement and cautioned against succumbing to cheap political tactics.
So that we try to come in and find out or see what we need to do for the people in order to address their challenges and address their needs. And once we do that, I have no doubt that our mobilization will be successful, and 2026 we shall be able to regain our seats.
The Executive Director of Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, highlighted ongoing efforts to make Kampala a cleaner and greener city.
Okuyonja ekyokubiri kigamba nti green, simba omuddo oba ebimuli oba ebintu ebiyonja ekintu ekifo ekyo kyokoleramu. Ekyokusatu paint, kwe kusiiga langi okulaba nga ekibuga kimasamasa nga ffenna tusiiga langi awo we tukolera.
The gathering at Zone 7 served as a platform for robust discussions and resolutions aimed at addressing pertinent issues affecting the community.
Kakati okwogera ku nsonga zaffe, ensonga lwaki tuyisa abantu tubeeko bakubuliramu ku buzibu lwaki abantu banyiivu wansi. Olwokuba tebalina bakiise, olwokuba tebalina bakiise kwe kusendasenda ne director mobilization ne mbaleeta wano abantu bababuulire lwaki abantu banyiivu. Nze kitatta sijja kunyumirwa kuyimirira wano nti muwanika nga tiimu yaffe ya NRM simpanguzi, ebyo tetukyabinyumirwa.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
And women in politics continue to express their appreciation for President Museveni, acknowledging the opportunities given to them to serve over the past 38 years. They vow to exert their utmost efforts to contribute to the economic, social and political advancement of the country.
In charge of ICT and national guidance, Honorable Joyce Sebugwao expresses gratitude for the opportunity to work under President Museveni, describing him as a man of development. She highlights the President's commitment to improving the lives of local residents through initiatives such as the Parish Development Model and EMIOGA.
Part in the development of this country since the NRM came into power.
She further emphasizes that the peace brought about by the NRM has empowered women at the grassroots to work for their families, ensuring that children have access to education.
And I praise the government for lifting the women's standards. They have contributed a lot in the development of this country.
The State Minister in charge of investment and privatization, Honorable Evelyn Anite, shares her positive experience serving under the NRM government since her youth. She credits this opportunity for contributing to the advancement of her political career.
Give the women the freedom. Yes, God created women just like He created men, but He has empowered the women. It is the NRM ideology.
Anita adds that women in Koboko, her hometown, have composed songs praising President Museveni for providing opportunities for girls to access education.
In the villages, they tell me they even have songs to sing. That, for instance, before NRM government came to power, they used not to go to school. They say, Kajubero yani wuti school. But they never used to go to school.
Senior pastor of Glad Tidings of God's Ministry, Kalerwe, Judith Sozi, acknowledges the peace brought by President Museveni, enabling freedom of worship. She notes the positive impact on the spiritual aspects of many societies in the country.
Thank the President for also allowing churches to worship. We pray up to any time we want.
Sozi observes that churches have played a significant role in shaping societies by encouraging Christians not only to praise God, but also to establish income-generating activities. Marina Wari and Richard Chirembeka for UBC.
And the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, accompanied by shadow ministers and mayor for Kampala Erias Lukwago, expressed deep concern over the deteriorating state of road infrastructure in Kampala and its surrounding areas. They attributed these challenges to the limited budget allocated to the roads fund. The leaders made these remarks during an inspection tour of the road infrastructure in the city.
The inspection tour commenced at Salama Road along Munyonyo, where residents reported that the area was dominated by dust and potholes. The road is characterized by its narrow nature and the absence of built sewage channels, leading to motorists frequently encountering ditches.
Abantu eddwaliro ddene liri wali naye laba oluguudo okubanga okuvuga booda ng'ebinnya okuba ebinnya okuva eri mu ttawuni naye okuba ebinnya ng'ovuga bubinyo nga luteesa akabenje nga bubenya bukola ki nga bubeera olw'oluguudo.
The roads in Kampala are such a mess. The challenge is when people raise their voices about this situation, the government decides to lay emphasis on calming down those who are making noise about the situation.
The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, overwhelmed by the state of the roads in Kampala, expressed his concerns during the inspection.
Sometimes when we talk about these things, people think we are politicking. But now you can see for yourselves, this is a tarmac road, but just look at it. It's like a kraal. So we are saying we want focus put on these roads. There should be no excuse about money. We are in the budgetary process, and as I mentioned the other day in Parliament, we have a lot of money that is misused. We lose about 10 trillion shillings per year to corruption. Deal with that issue, there will be money. There's money available to deal with these issues.
Mayor of Kampala Erias Lukwago noted that the funds allocated to the road fund for construction and improvements are insufficient to address the pressing issues.
Yet monies were appropriated long time ago, and there is no plausible excuse as to why civil works have not yet commenced. You are aware, government of Uganda injects very little money, peanuts, just whatever they are giving us in form of road fund and maintenance of roads is just a drop in the ocean. The bulk of our funds for infrastructure development come from the donor community, particularly the African Development Bank, JICA for the flyover project, and also World Bank. And you have heard the issues we are dealing with in respect to the African Development Bank alone, to the extent that they gave us an ultimatum. If we don't clean up the mess within this project, they are winding up. They are recalling the facility by 1st of February today.
However, the legislators were surprised to learn that the vehicles they traveled in with the journalists had been withdrawn. They later hired taxis to other destinations including Natete, Kosovo, Lusaze, Semto and elsewhere. Members of Parliament and other leaders shared their observations of the road network during the tour.
I've been talking about bad roads in Uganda.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar! My boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Get ready for the sizzling Pa'iri City and get back to school edition. Prep your child for school and win big. Just shop for their school essentials, download the Pa'iri City and app on your phone and submit your e-receipt fiscal document number. There you have it. A brand new refrigerator, a shopping spree, the newest electronic devices, or even a fantasy family vacation may be yours for the taking. With each electronic receipt you submit, you get closer to the prize. To enter and win, your e-receipt must have a fiscal document number, a QR code, and a verification code. Shopping becomes an exciting adventure with URA. Wangula name pa e-receipt.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Hi, my name is Dennis Masindo Nyango, former Uganda Cranes captain and goalkeeper. My kind of a tank at home is a Cranes tank. I use it at the farm and at home. I recommend it for everyone.
Welcome back. Now in business news, Artisanal miners want government to offer an alternative following the suspension of mercury in gold mining process as per the Mining Act of 2022 during the 2024 annual mining Mokuntano of artisanal miners. Stakeholders asked for the government support in standardizing the mining equipment.
Artisanal and small-scale miners want government to provide specific guidelines that stipulate a substitution instead of using mercury in gold mining.
In the first place, the miners themselves must understand, and they have understood the dangers of mercury use. They know how dangerous it is to themselves, the users, to the surrounding, and to the neighbors. They know, but the challenge is, what is an affordable alternative?
While mercury has been banned, there is no alternative right now. So we are working with many partners to explore many mercury-free gold processing technologies that can serve as alternatives. But as of now, if we just ban mercury, people will just keep using it on the black market, and we shall not achieve anything as a country in relation to improving the health and safety of gold mining.
To standardize the mining sector with up-to-date machinery, small-scale and medium-sized miners want government to design a special financial support program.
Shaking tables. The shaking tables is an alternative, but it's not easy. It's not easy to access. It is expensive. One would need a lot of capital to buy it and put them in the mining sector. We have the use of cyanide. Medium-scale use of cyanide can also be a solution to mercury use. But cyanide is being used almost on bigger scales. This very artisanal miner who has one basin of ores cannot use cyanide as a solution.
Miners urge government to take up the costs in the exploration of minerals and demand an equal platform for all the stakeholders in the mining sector.
At least the government to give us capital. At least we don't have capital. Okay, we started now small capital, but at least they should give us machinery and capital so that we can move on like in Tanzania.
Small-scale and medium-sized miners are encouraged to form groups and cooperatives to boost their bargaining power and in raising voice for the common good.
And with that, it now becomes easier for the government to work and now formalize the mining activities, so that once you form the groups and cooperatives, have them registered.
The 5th annual Great Lakes Mining and Energy Transition Mokuntano Conference is to focus on the integration of miners into singular reliable associations to fully enable exploitation of minerals. Komagum Rogers, Chitandwi Kennedy for UBC.
Well, that does it for News Tonight for now. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Do stick around.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.